Hey, thanks for stopping by. This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And what you're looking at is a new little radio that somebody sent me to review. It's called the Vite, I think, V-I-T-E, and it's FM stereo, shortwave, medium wave, and long wave. And it's a DSP receiver, digital signal processor. So it's got a lot of functions. Let's just go over the functions real quick. They're shown here on the box. It's a full band world receiver. So what that means is it doesn't skip bands in the shortwave range. Also, it has an extended FM band, and I'll get into that later. It has 80 memory locations that you can store channels in, frequencies in. Also it's FM stereo. Of course, it's only got a single speaker, so if you want stereo, you have to use earbuds. It has a timer clock. It can use a USB connector for power. It has a smart backlight. Now this is very unique. I'm really excited to show you this. This is something I've never seen, especially on a radio for $17. There's a keyboard lock, 13 bands, power switch, and that's another feature that it kind of caught me off guard there, and I'll get to it later. And it has shortwave, and it has TV sound, which I don't think that works anymore in the United States. It has digital volume control, and it has a 360-degree rotating antenna. We'll see about that. Okay, so that's what they claim that it can do. Comes with earbuds, and this is already pre-attached, so if you don't want this, you're going to have to just cut it off because it's built in, so to speak. So, and it does not come with batteries. I believe, gosh, have I lost it already? I don't think it came with a USB cable. I could be wrong about that, but you probably got a million of those already. It's the little micro USB connector. Don't think it came with one. It feels pretty good. It's not that glossy plastic cheap looking. It's a dull black. The writing is a little difficult. A lot of the writing is gray on black, which doesn't really show up that good. Let me see if I can get my camera to zoom in. There it is. If you got a camera you can zoom in on it, you can read it pretty easy, but my old eyes have a little bit of trouble with that gray printing. Display is small but adequate. The built-in antenna is pretty short, which is not surprising for something this small. It uses two AA batteries, so no special cell phone battery. Has a kickstand. I like that. I mean, you wouldn't think it would cost that much to put a kickstand on one of these kind of radios, and a lot of them don't have that, but this one does. It's and it's at a good angle for easy viewing. Over here we have the earphone jack, the USB connector for charging and powering. It says you can actually run this off of a USB adapter, and this is the one of the two on-off switches, and this really caught me off guard, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. And then nothing here, nothing there, nothing on the bottom. So strictly a radio, no MP3 player. Okay, let's talk about power on. Normally what I do is I take these things out of the box, put some batteries on, and hit the power button and just see if it works in case I have to return it. Well, I struggled with getting it to turn on. Here's the, right here it says in embossed or raised letters, black on black, so it's like nearly impossible to read. It says, and I can't even read it right now. I'd have to let me get over to the light. You can't see it. It says PWR on/off, power on off. So I said, okay, no problem. I'll just switch that on. Which let me switch it. It's on right now. Believe it or not, it's on right now. I'm gonna switch that off. So now it's off completely. There's no display, nothing. When you turn this on, you get the clock. That's all you're going to see is the clock. So you try using the buttons and nothing happens. So I thought, this is broken. So I thought, I better read the instructions. So it does come with a lot. This is all in English. And it's both sides. So there's lots of instructions. Unfortunately, they are translated into English, and the translation is extremely poor, really bad. I mean, you really have to figure out where you read a word, you have to figure out what do they mean about that. Let me see if I can find some examples. Power lock. Oh, the other thing is they have this diagram here. If I get the focus, anytime camera, anytime. There we go. There's the diagram, and each button, switch, everything is numbered, and display. It's numbered. So in the instructions, when they say the power lock button, they don't use the terminology that's on the radio. They use the terminology, the number that is referred to in this diagram. So you always have to refer back to the diagram to figure out what button they're talking about. That kind of threw me off because they were saying, for instance, they said power lock, and next to that they got either 19 or 29. These are so small it's hard for me to read. But say it's 19. So it's like, there's no 19 on the radio. So then I go, oh yeah, 19. I have to go over here, find 19. 19 power lock side. That's this button here. So, okay. So I turned that on. And it says, the radio will boot. I guess that means turn on. And you can receive radio program. Radio switch on, and then it goes on from there. So, and what it's trying to say after that is, now if you want to use the radio, you have to press, and let me see what the number is on that. That's number 5, which is the mute and the on-off switch. A lot of dual function switches or buttons on this thing. So you got a long press for 2 seconds, this on-off mute button. So you press that and hold it, and then the radio comes on. So you have to have this switch on here and long press this button here before the radio comes on. So it took me about 15 minutes to figure out how to turn it on because, number one, this switch didn't do it. Number two, the instructions are in such poor English, I didn't understand what they were saying. So finally got the radio on. Okay, now let me turn it off. Note, to turn it, you can put it in, when you just press that button once, it goes into mute, which means the radio is on, but the audio is muted. If you long press it, then it will go off. So that's a little confusion factor. Okay, let's kind of go over some of the other buttons quickly. It will, now, here's one. I see if I can get it on the camera. I'm going to know if you can read that or not. It says, believe it or not, it says usually. And I think what that means is that's how you can get to the stored memory frequencies, the ones you usually use. This radio is, it cracks me up. Okay, so you got that. You got the lock keyboard button, or the memory up in memory plus. I think that's for memory store. And then you got the stereo button. And so you have to put it in stereo mode if you want to listen to stereo with the earbuds, I believe. And then you got the time, hours, and minutes. And then below that in gray, on black, you've got the bands, shortwave, medium wave, FM. And the medium wave includes long wave. You just tune it down past the normal medium wave. And the shortwave, like I say, is continuous. Now, the way you tune it is you use these two buttons here to tune. And you watch the display and you'll see it change. Whoops, you won't see it change if I got too much glare on there. So it changes 5 kilohertz. Excuse me, 0.05 megahertz. So that's plenty good for normal international broadcast reception. Now, it doesn't have single sidebands, or you don't need that fine tuning for that, but you have to use these buttons for tuning. There's no tuning knob on the side. So, okay, trying to cut corners, I understand. And then this is the volume button right here, buttons. Again, you have to use these buttons to change the volume. There's no knob on the side. Basically all digital. And if you push and hold the tuning button, or buttons, depending on the direction you want to go, it will scan until it finds a strong station. Now, I've tried to get it to go like in an ATS, automatic tuning and storing, where it scrolls the whole band, and when it finds a strong station, it stores it in memory. I tried to do that, and I can't get it to work. It appears, now the key word is appears. It appears in the documentation that it should do that. But again, the documentation is pretty poor, so I'll have to experiment some more with that. So it might have that capability. It does have the memory to store stations in, so it does have that. And what you can do is you can use the scan, I'll call it, and I'll push and hold this down and try to get the light right. And there it's scanning, looking for a strong station. And I've got the telescopic antenna collapsed, so it's not going to find anything in shortwave band. In the shortwave band is 3.2 megahertz to 21.9 megahertz, and I'm pretty sure it's continuous. It doesn't skip and just do the international bands. That's kind of cool, but it doesn't have single sideband. The medium wave is 520 kilohertz to 1710 kilohertz. The long wave, which is just an extension of the medium wave, is 150 to 285. You might have to, and let's stop this. Let me go to medium wave. Okay, now I'm going to have it scan down and see if it's down at the bottom of the, well, not quite, but it's almost down to the bottom of the normal medium wave band. So it's scanning down. So it's staying within that medium wave band, extended medium wave band. Now, how did I get it? I thought if I push and held, no, I can't recall. Let me see if I can find it in the instructions. How do you get to long wave? It says medium wave, hour setting button, okay. Boot state, short press, button 15 is the medium wave circular switch. Medium wave is divided into two bands, the normal medium wave, well, normal extended medium wave, and the long wave. So it just says short press. And I cannot get it I've cut it to go there before, but it won't go there to that other medium wave band. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm pretty sure I got it to go to medium wave before. Let me see if I just manually tune up or down. No, I cannot get it to go there today. Long press doesn't help. Short press doesn't help. So, operator error maybe, because I'm pretty sure I got it to go there before, and maybe I just happened to get it to go there on my own, and I didn't try to do it per the instructions. Oh well. So, but it's supposed to have medium wave. It says it several places. Okay. It has 3, and let's see if this works. It has 4 FM bands. Now let's go to FM and see if I can select the 4. Okay, there's 88.45, which is probably where I left it. That's your normal FM band. And we push the button again. Now it says 88.5. Now it says 179.5. So that changed. And supposedly the bands are 50 to 88. That's probably the first one we saw. 87 to 108. That's probably the second we saw. And 56.25 to 91.75. And then 174.2 to 22.25. So it's got some extended FM bands, and supposedly that's to cover the TV audio section of the spectrum. But I think that's in the United States. I think it's at a different place. Maybe in Europe or someplace it's in that area. Okay. What else? I think I've covered everything. Well, I've tried to, but I'm not doing such a good job. Everything. Okay, it says it's in sleep mode. Oh, maybe that's it's in, yeah, sleep timer mode. Yep, it has a sleep timer. And I think that's about it. The reception, I tried it the first day I got it. I tried it on shortwave, and it was doing pretty darn good. When I used the auto tune here, it was picking up a lot of stations. Let's go to shortwave and give it a try here. Go to shortwave. Now the buttons you have to push pretty hard. So they're very, the construction of the buttons is very good. It's not like they're flimsy or something. So you have to push pretty hard. And we're in shortwave band right now. And I'll extend the little antenna, which is pretty small. And I have to use the buttons to bring the volume up. And, it's in mute mode. That's what it is. Okay, there we go. Let's go down to 15 megahertz, since we're close by. I'm picking up. I think I'm picking up noise from the room. So Yeah, I'm not picking it. It does. What is nice about it is that mute button, because it takes a while. It takes a while to get the volume down using these volume buttons. So it's nice they have that mute button. They've done several things. It's kind of cute. Before I forget, let me go back to one that I almost forgot about. Is the side light. It's not a backlight. It's side light. There's an LED on both sides. They're amber. And to my knowledge, there's no way to turn them on. I say that. This thing is really quirky. I say that because they come on automatically when you use any button if the clock is in the nighttime. And I'm not sure exactly what time that is, but say it's 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So again, I couldn't get the side lights, I call them, to come on. And I read the manual, and it says that you have to have the time and darkness, basically. And so I had to move the time forward, the clock forward, so that it thought it was at nighttime, and then anytime I pressed any buttons, the backlight came on for a few seconds. So it does have backlight. It works, but it's since it's side lighting, it's not that good. It's not that good. It's adequate, not that good. So that's about it. I'll do another video on the reception, and I'll pick another radio and kind of use it to compare. So that's about it. Again, it's about $17. It's called the Vite. You can get it off of Amazon, and the model number is VT-111. So that's the show for today. If you enjoyed this show, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Again, I apologize for the new subscribers, because for some reason YouTube, I cannot send new subscribers a comment thanking them for subscribing. So I apologize for that. Anyway, bye-bye.